financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross. Financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's show is appropriately called Ho Ho Ho, Staying in Debt is a No. Jenny Lingo, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
How are you? Season's greetings.
Season's greetings. I'm doing well, and I'm sure a lot of people are interested in this after they're opening their credit card statements after Christmas and the holidays.
Well, and as we're going through Christmas as well. Pat, good morning. Pat Simasko back from Simasko Law, our elder law expert. Brian Small, partner in fun and games and debt relief and business law.
Always a pleasure to be here,
Estate
kid.
planning and all those things. Good to see. So here's the topic. Ho, ho, ho. Staying in debt is a no. 2017's on the horizon. The time to act. The sooner you eliminate the debt, the sooner you realize your critical financial goals. I want to start out and frame the future for us, because I think I appraise my life when it in December every year. I think about what the years passed, what goals I had set from the last year, what did I accomplish, and I always come up with my new, I don't want to call them so much as resolutions, but my new game plan going forward. And financial health is certainly something that we need to concentrate on, because if you don't concentrate on it, you won't obtain it. 3-point simple retirement plan. Not the one that you get the free offer to go to dinner at Fleming's and everything else, where they want to make everything so complicated with all this investment and everything else. Simple concept.
And it's never really that good of a dinner. It's never what's on the regular menu. I've been to some of those. It's never on the regular menu.
So you're a plate licker. You just go and eat and leave?
It's always the little steak, okay? It's not the big steak.
I find I can't enjoy a meal if while I'm eating it, I know I'm being sold something. That's just for me. To me, eating is an important function of relaxing and enjoying the moment after having gone through the day.
I'm sorry. I've watched you eat. You eat faster than any human being I've ever seen.
I will take that bet. I enjoy it when I'm eating it that fast. Because, I want to get it over. And it's not so much I want to get over it. I'm eating it fast because it's good.
Right.
All right. Well, what's your plan?
Own your own home free and clear. Have zero debt. Have some cash in the bank, IRA, 401k, or savings. That's the plan. And here's the why. Because you need to understand, why is the simple plan the smart plan? Simpler concepts, in my view, are easier to identify and work to. We're not giving you a big financial formula that you have to hold on and examine week to week. Simple concept. You're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. You know your plan is to live and your plan is eventually to retire. You need to get to those three things and stay focused on accomplishing it. Once you're retired, I think you guys will all say the same thing. We all know you're going to have less income to live off of, and people, we see it time and time again, are ill prepared for that. They come into the office, they're getting ready to retire, and they're not even realizing they've been living off of $8,000 a month, and suddenly they're going to have to live off of $3,500 a month.
That's if you have a pension. Most people won't have pensions anymore, so it'll be $1,500 a month.
And they haven't done anything about getting rid of their house payment. They're paying rent. They got 2 car payments, and they've got $30,000 of credit card debt. That's a big problem. If your house is paid for, you only have to worry about taxes and insurance and maintenance. You don't have to make that payment. You don't have to worry about the mortgage payment. You don't have to worry about the landlord raising rent. Something that I've watched over the last 10 years. Social Security goes up like this, and rent goes up like that. Every year the landlord wants to bump the rent 5%. Social Security, the last 3 years, 2 of the years, it didn't go up at all. So if you're a senior, you've got to avoid getting into that trap. No debt means your Social Security check can cover your essentials. Your food, your gasoline, your clothing. You can make it on that money if you don't have any debt and you don't have a house payment. Then you add in and layer in some savings, either the IRA, the 401k, or a savings account that supplements the Social Security and gives you the cushion to live comfortably. I'm not saying you're going to travel the world. That's a great goal to have. But I'm saying if you're looking at it from a pragmatic point of view, you want to make sure you can get to retirement and you can have a comfortable retirement so you're not stressed out over debt. Step 1 to accomplishing it, and that's where we're going to all work together, is if you have a home, first, what's the step 1 to get there? If you have a home, it's to get rid of the debt if you already have the home. But what if you don't have a home?
Let me jump in there too, because we have many clients come in, they go to those seminars that you talk about, and they say, hey, let's refinance your home, pull all your equity, and let's invest it for you, and you'll make all this extra money. And they lose it in the market. Now they have the house that's full mortgage on it, no money in the bank.
That is a horrible disaster.
Horrible idea.
That's almost... I almost want to say it's criminal. It's not criminal, but it's deceptive. It is putting people into the ultimate risk. They walk in, they have a house paid for.
Right.
They can make it on their Social Security.
Right.
They can be okay. They're not going to live great. And they paint this picture that say, you give me $85,000 to invest, and I'm going to turn it into $300,000.
Yeah. We'll make 9% interest, and your mortgage interest is 4%, so you net out 5%, and that's just the worst thing in the world to do.
That's a disaster.
Worst thing to do.
I want that house free and clear, and
Absolutely.
to keep it free and clear. If all of a sudden you get to be 85 and you're cash short and your home is free and clear, you could actually do a reverse mortgage if you needed the cash. It's something to be careful about, but it's the last step to preserving cash flow for you if you need it.
And
if you mortgage the home, that's out.
And that baloney about, oh, you want the tax deduction? That's baloney. Don't worry about it.
Because their tax bracket's so low at that point.
No, don't worry about it.
When you're in your 30s, the tax deduction can help you.
Kids,
so if you don't have a home,
buy one.
The question is, buy one if you can get approved at this point. If you can't get approved, we're going to come back after the break and we're going to figure out what the next step is. We'll be back after the break.
It's devastating, the effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem. Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt. If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Fav Gross 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross, our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Fav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Fav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Fav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Fav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Fav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. All right, so how do we get to realize the 3-point plan? The first thing is I need a home if I don't have one. In this case, could I qualify for a mortgage now? If I have the income, the credit score is okay, even though I have some debt, go ahead, buy the house, get into it, and then we'll eliminate the debt. If you don't have the income or the credit score with your debt burden to qualify for the mortgage, then you need to get rid of the debt first.
Now, if you're buying the home, let me tell you something. There's some significant planning that should go into buying a house. One, you should make sure that you're buying a house that you absolutely can afford, and don't try to do it as if you're only living on one party's income rather than two. And it depends on where your age is, but let's just put somebody in their 50s.
You don't need that 5th bathroom?
No, you really don't need the 5th bathroom. Second, when you're...
What if you have 5 dogs? But go ahead.
Second, when you're buying that house, consider the fact that it may be your last house. So now you're 50 years old. Most people don't consider the fact that they're not going to be able to walk stairs when they're 75 or 80.
The master bedroom on the first
buy a ranch. Things that you want to consider. Consider the fact that this may be your last place you're going to live before you need assisted living or moving in with your kids because you're no longer capable of taking care of yourself. And if you're going to do that, you want to look at the long term. If you're 30, you can buy anything you want. But if you're 50, 60 years old and you're going to have this house paid off by the time you retire, consider the fact that the house needs to be affordable. Don't figure that it's going to be your biggest investment anymore. This is going to be where you're going to live. You're not caring whether or not it really appreciates in value. You need it to be paid off.
Good point.
And let me jump into why we're doing this. And the ultimate reason why you're doing this, because you don't want to live in your kid's basement. You want money that you can support your stuff and not have to live in Ken's basement.
You don't want to live in your kid's basement. You don't want to be a ward of the state. You don't want to be the government is going to take care of you.
I've seen Ken's basement. It's a nice basement.
Well, it's not. Well, okay, we're all going.
I don't. and I don't want to be living in my kid's basement.
And teach your kids this, because you don't want the kids living in your basement.
Absolutely. Now, credit scores come into the conversation all the time, because when is the credit score important? The credit score is important when you're applying for a mortgage. If you're applying for the mortgage, the credit score is a factor. It's not essential. You can get a 3% FHA mortgage with 550 credit score right now. But it is a factor then. Other than applying for the mortgage, the credit score is a scam. The banking industry, have you noticed almost every credit card company now gives you your credit score for free? Do you think they're doing that because they want to just enhance your experience as a credit card user?
Of course, isn't that what it is?
Ken, why are they doing that?
I feel so good about it.
Because if their credit score is the most important thing that you're thinking about,
they'll pay the debt.
Then you're going to make your payment on time. Because
no
God forbid, Pat, if you're a day late, you think that your credit score is going to go down 11 points. Not to mention the fact that your credit score isn't reported as late until your payment's 30 days late.
It's a marketing.
But we're all paranoid about that.
It's a business.
It's smart play by them.
Brilliant business.
It's brilliant by them. But the important thing is you got to think about it this way. If you've got to get rid of the debt before you can buy the home, your credit score is going to go down. We're going to get rid of the debt. Your credit score is going to come back up after we've gotten rid of the debt, and we're going to buy a home, and we can get all that done in a couple years. And a couple years is not the end of the world, because we're talking about the retirement plan. We want the house owned, paid for, free and clear by then. So we got to get rid of the debt in order to be able to implement our plan. We're going to get rid of the debt either to buy the house, or after we've bought the house, we're going to get rid of the debt so we start taking that money and saving it. I want to factor in, what if we have a tax problem along the way with this debt? So we have all the things that we have to think about, because here are the things that we use to get rid of the debt. We look at Chapter 7, we look at Chapter 13 bankruptcy, we look at debt resolution, and we try and figure out what's the smartest strategy to employ to get rid of the debt. So I'm going to give you a scenario, a case study. Our debtor's name is going to be Mitt. Mitt has a financial problem. He's married with 2 children. Anyone know of any Mitts?
There's a Mitt Money, isn't there?
Mitt Romney.
I understand
Okay.
Mitt Romney.
Right. Mitt has 2 children.
Mitt Money,
He does not own a home.
as in money.
He has $30,000 of tax debt. And he owes his tax debt from income taxes from 2013. He has $60,000 of credit card debt, and he's making $60,000 per year. That's Mitt's basic numbers. Now, I want to walk through what steps are available to Mitt to eliminate the debt, and then as we go, I'm going to change the facts on you and change Mitt's income. Starting now, Brian, with $60,000 a year of income, 2 kids, doesn't own a home, $30,000 in tax debt. What do you think? Is Chapter 7? We usually start with Chapter 7 as our evaluation. Why do we start there?
Given our political positioning these days, Mitt, one of his choices might be to move to Canada. But besides that, the possibility of filing a Chapter 7 is a great option.
I think Ted Cruz was the one who was born in Canada, but go ahead.
Anyway, needless to say, Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the most efficient, least costly, most effective method of getting out of debt if you qualify. And so Mitt, who has a household of 4, makes $60,000 a year, is going to 99% off the top of my head qualify for a Chapter 7. He can eliminate all of the debt as long as his case is filed in the appropriate time, because there's some concerns about when he can file to get rid of his tax debt.
His tax debt, because we're coming up to a break. When we come back from the break, I'm going to ask Jenny about the tax debt. But so you think he can file Chapter 7 is the right way to go for him?
Absolutely, because his credit score will take a hit, but it will heal.
And all the credit. And if he files a Chapter 7, how long till it's done?
It's done in about 3 months.
We'll be back after the break.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Fav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Fav Gross today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Fav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
It's time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us Tuesdays noon to 1 and 6 to 7 p.m. for Law and Reality Live on WCHB 1200 AM 99.9 FM. Thursdays from 3 to 4, Law and Reality Now with Cliff Russell on 9:10 a.m. We have a seminar coming up Wednesday, February 1st, 2017, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. This resolution means everything. I'm getting out of debt now. We're going to address the issues. It's a new year. It's time to act on what you've been saying you want to do. This is the opportunity. How to preserve future income for you and your family. It's not so much about getting rid of the debt. It's about realigning your life so that on a month-to-month basis, instead of writing a check for $700 to the credit card companies, you start depositing that money into your savings account because you've made the right moves to get rid of that debt. Strategies using bankruptcy, strategies outside of bankruptcy. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Sign up at lawandreality.com, thavgross.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Want to remind our viewers that the websites have free reports. Pat Simesko has a free report on Social Security. There's a report on Reg X, how to save your home using the hidden secrets from foreclosure, and also a report on forming and starting a new business. Want to thank our sponsors, Thav Gross and Simesko Law. We'll be back after a brief message.
It's devastating, the effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt. If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Thav Gross, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Simesko Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Simesko Law today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, we're back. All right, so we're looking at Chapter 7 for Mitt. He's got $60,000 of income, but he's got $30,000 of tax debt. Jenny, how does Chapter 7 work to get rid of the tax debt?
Well,
because a lot of people think you can't discharge
Is there a
taxes.
timing on when you should you hold off maybe on filing a bankruptcy for a few months to get through that time
absolutely.
period?
What you should do first is realize that income taxes are dischargeable in bankruptcy if you filed the tax return. If that tax return came due at least 3 years ago, so in this case, it's the 2013 return. That would have been due in April of 2014, assuming that an extension wasn't filed. So you go 3 years from that April of 2014 and get to April of 2017 when it can be discharged.
Oh, that's a problem. Wait a second. It's only December of
It's
2016.
absolutely not a problem.
We
We
can't
are-
help the guy.
We can set it up so that we can plan to get that bankruptcy filed in April of 2017. There's also the 2-year rule, the 240-day rule, which this individual would meet.
Are you suggesting the guy comes in and we actually plan to hold off filing
That's just
the
crazy,
bankruptcy
Ken.
to April of 2017?
Yes, it's worth $30,000 to him to hold off. So there's some things we can do with the taxes.
Here's the
Yeah,
point that people have to realize, and by all means, that's exactly what we would do. There's too many people out there that would say, we're not going to let him hold off on filing his bankruptcy because we want to get his fee. We want to get his money, and we don't want him to go to somebody else. So they'll go and they'll put him into the bankruptcy and not tell him that he
Don't
could
they
have
have
discharged
those
the debt.
bankruptcy kits too that they do it yourselfers? that would screw that up as well?
Yeah, you can buy those at 7-Eleven, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing to think about is even if this wasn't
You're
such
much
a close
better
time
off
frame,
buying that little thing that you drink in for,
Well, that's the
$5.95 and get,
People
and get
don't
a
want
little
to
coffee
spend.
buzz.
People don't want to spend the $1,500 fee, so they do it on their own, and they just walked away from a $30,000
Yeah, it's a
IRS.
disaster.
well, it can
Disaster.
get even worse than that. I have a client right now who she's uncollectible with the IRS. She's going to qualify in a year and a half for a Chapter 7. So what we've done is, because the IRS was being aggressive, is we put her in uncollectible with the plan that in a year and a half she's going to come back and file that Chapter 7. She doesn't qualify for an offer in compromise because they would want her to liquidate the cash value of her life insurance policy in this example, but it's low enough that she could still exempt it out in a Chapter 7.
So you need to plan. Brian, I'm going to change the facts. Instead of Mitt only making $60,000 a year, he's now making $75,000. Could that push him out of the Chapter 7?
In this case, no, but because
$80,000?
somewhere around 88,000 is the median income for, or I think it's 82,000, excuse me, for a family of 4. However, the concept is the same. The more income you earn, the greater likelihood that you're not going to qualify for a Chapter 7. So there's going to be a number, whether it's 80,000 or 100,000, where Mitt is going to stop qualifying for a Chapter 7, and we may have to consider a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And depending on how much has to be repaid, let's just say Mitt's his Chapter 13 qualifies him to pay $300 a month. He's above median income, so now he's got to pay $300 a month for 60 months. That's $18,000.
To get rid of $60,000
To get rid of
$90,000
$90,000.
and $30,000 of tax debt.
That's correct.
That's a good deal.
It's a great deal.
What if he was making $150,000 a year?
Well, let's just assume that Mitt had at least $1,500 left over a month. Okay? So if Mitt had $1,500 left over a month, 1,500 times 60 is $90,000. Mitt has the ability to pay all of the debt back, in which case what we would do is deal with a plan to deal with the IRS.
Offer and compromise with Jenny?
I don't think an offer would work in this situation. I think what we would do is set the Mitt up on a payment agreement with the IRS to pay off the debt within 72 months because it's less than $50,000, and then we would settle Mitt's debt, the $60,000 of the credit card debt, as doing debt resolution. What the key here is to know is that no matter who you are, there's always a solution to the debt problem.
So Mitt goes through the analysis. At the end of the process, he now is going to buy a home, own it, pay for it, have it free and clear when he retires, have zero debt, have some savings in the bank, and he's met his retirement plan. The key for Mitt is to say, when presented with those facts, I've got to formulate the plan, and then I have to act on the plan.
And not do it all over again.
Have a happy holiday. Enjoy the season's greetings
And
to
a
all.
happy New
We'll
Year.
be back next week.